Okay, okay, everyone. Welcome to another GameReplays.org replay. This is Smock here, and again, thanks to Snoopy on the camera working for me. And this is a quarterfinals match of the warm-up tournament between Fnatic MSI and umad. As we saw last, Fnatic MSI went through the first round in commanding fashion against DRD, and so now they are matched up with umad, which is an American team that we haven't really heard much about, and so they actually got a bye in the first round, which is why they are here. And yeah, so this should be an interesting match. Probably going to be pretty one-sided, but we maybe, you never know, they could put up they could put up more of a fight than DRD did at any case. So we have the bans coming out and the picks now. We see Engineer, Zephyr, Ophelia, Defiler, Hellbringer, and a Cursed ban. So all pretty standard. And we had a little discussion beforehand about who was auto-banned for this tournament, and Bubbles is indeed auto-banned, just coming out a couple days ago despite being a pretty direct port from Dota. But unfortunately we won't be able to see Bubbles play in this tournament, but definitely probably will see him in the future, so looking forward to that. And the other hero, Balfagor, is actually up for grabs, so you never know, we might see him picked up. Probably not, being not the highest caliber of heroes in my opinion, but you never really know. And Playgrider being the first pick for umad, always a great first pick, first ban type of hero. And MSI comes out with Chipper and Soul Reaper, so we'll have to see who ends up playing that Chipper, but Chipper's always fun to watch, just as Fade was in the last game. So, and as speaking of Fade is picked up by the Hellborn, so some good ganking heroes should give a lot of action early game at least, and we won't have to wait a long time. I believe the server is actually, we're on a French server, so that does favor MSI more than umad, which I believe is an American team, so we'll have to see whether there will be pauses because of lag issues, as usually we do see in competitive play, but hopefully there won't be too much of that, as Demented Shaman is picked up for Hellborn, and MSI picks up Witch Slayer, so some good disable added there. So this, yeah, there were 28 teams in this tournament, but unfortunately a lot of teams didn't actually show up, which is probably why, I'm not certain, but probably why umad got a bye in the first round. There are other tournaments going on and such, so we don't really, and this is just a warm-up tournament, so we don't really see the highest tier of teams, unfortunately, but we should see some good games nonetheless, especially as we get more towards those finals, as Trixie picks up Wretched Hag. And we're just waiting now for the final picks. We got some good babysitters over on the Hellborn team with Playgrider and Demented Shaman, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see at hard carry, who really needs to get his farm up early game, picked up now, especially considering probably don't want to see Fade hard carry, but I mean, it's been done. It's still a debate between competitive players whether Fade is the legitimate carry. As we see Corrupted Disciple picked up, not really needing those babysitters, but he'll probably go mid. And Slither, again, just an annoying hero to play against, despite recent nerfs to his wards, which were a long time in coming in my opinion. Now he can only spam a little less than usual. We're needing to get up to level 3 before he gets 2 wards instead of level 2, so. And we see Wild Soul picked up for Fnatic MSI, which I can't really say that I have ever seen in competitive play, but again, you gotta think that Fnatic MSI is just trying out new stuff in this game, playing against umad, so kudos to them. It's always fun to see a new a different hero than your standard lineup, so we'll have to see how Budgie plays this Wild Soul. But you gotta think that Chipper will be going mid and Wild Soul be jungling, and Wretched Hag taking that bottom lane for their 2 solos, so it's always good to have 2 solo heroes, and then that pairs up Soul Reaper and Witch Slayer at the top is what I would expect, but never know, I suppose. And again, on the Hellborn, you might see either Fade or Corrupted go middle, depending on how comfortable Why So Angry is on that Fade character, whether he wants to play middle against a Chipper or Wretched Hag. And then you have your pick of who you want to babysit if Fade does not wish to go middle. You got 4 ranged heroes on the Hellborn team, so you gotta give some dominance there, although again 4 ranged heroes on the Legion as well, so maybe not as dominant as I originally thought. But we shall see how it all works out for them, of course. Good to see Chipper scouting out a little with those rockets, as we do see Witch Slayer and Soul Reaper heading top, as I suspected. And Fade's gonna head top as well, leaving that middle to Corrupted Disciple. So probably a good choice, in my opinion, especially playing against Fnatic and Messiah. You know that they will probably dominate that middle lane, no matter who they send. So just based on their skill level and their renown as one of the world's best teams. So they're gonna send Fade top with the Dimension Shaman as a babysit, and send an annoying poison combo down bottom with Slither and Plague Rider, which is definitely going to be annoying for whoever's down there, which is actually Chipper, and they're chose to send Wretched Hag middle, so Chipper might have trouble going 2-on-1, but he does have that Wild Soul in the jungle to assist. So both teams kind of scouting out the runes here. The 4 heroes up top, which they're throwing out a stun there, and they're just going to exchange a little harass. Nothing's really going to come of that. And there's going to be a haste rune bottom, actually, which Corrupted Disciple is going to pick up, as Wild Soul sent his bear out to investigate. We see some good wards coming out already from the Hellborn team, so good job by Plague Rider to scout out to stop that creep pull, actually, or not the pull, rather the creep spawn for the jungling Wild Soul, and scout with the rune as well, so it's a good placement there. It's always good against jungling heroes, of course, to stop the creep spawns, just to try and annoy them a bit and put them back in their farm. As we do see up top, Witch Slayer is pulling the Hellborn jungle into the lane, so giving them a little bit extra experience and extra gold. We just see some harass in the middle lane there. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be definitely a battle for runes between Corrupted Disciple and Wretched Hag. Wretched Hag obviously having the advantage with that blink ability, so should be able to get a lot of those runes, which is probably going to hurt Corrupted Disciple's farm if he's not able to get that bottle and bottle those runes up, especially playing against Trixie in that middle lane, as up top we do see, just some harass going back and forth between Soul Reaper and Dimension Shaman. Slither and Plague Rider scouting out the jungle on the bottom, probably trying to catch Wild Soul, but he is on the other side. Corrupted actually forced to play pretty close back to his tower. Wretched Hag's doing a great job of just hitting him every time he comes close, and he's playing a little passively because of it, and he hasn't yet picked up his bottle. There goes the conduit onto Wretched Hag just to scare her back a bit, but it's not going to do much. Chipper is hugging his tower in the bottom lane as expected, playing 2 against 1 here. So so having to play rather passively.